So we're carrying on from my last video where I started to talk about how to develop wisdom in your life and to define what wisdom is. In the last video I gave you 4 key questions that you can ask yourself and reminded you that we need to put those cognitive distortions way on hold and put all the mind reads out on the side. We don't need those. But what is another description of wisdom? This one I really like. This one comes from the anthropologist, psychologist Gregory Bateson. Gregory Bateson said that wisdom is multiple perspectives held at the same time. And that is an amazing description, I think, of what wisdom is, because it allows us to gain even more information about a situation. So we're not just stuck in our own position, we're not just stuck in our own mind with our own thoughts and our own judgments. So the last video that I made about being able to reality test for ourselves, then we can now start to move our positions so that we can start to determine what else is going on in the situation. And the next key skill that I'm going to share is about multiple perspectives. And so the first multiple perspective that you need to know is the other person or the other people who are involved in that situation. It could be in a sales context, so putting yourself in the shoes of your customer. It could be if it was a mediation or a negotiation, it's putting yourself in the shoes of the other person and then being able to check out their reality. Now there is a little bit of kind of mind reading that goes on in this, but it's kind of where are they coming from? What are their motives? So being able to step into their shoes with the assumption that they're doing the best they can and that they've got some kind of positive intention that they want out of this situation from their point of view. So what we do, we step into their perspective. So this is the second perspective that we need to do, to step into their shoes, the other person's shoes. And to ask the questions of ourselves, okay, so what exactly do they want from this? And what don't they know? What information do we have in our position that they perhaps don't? And being able to step into the other person's shoes, we can then kind of ask ourselves in our mind, so what are their motives? And that would be something that would then come up in the conversation. We say, look, can I just check, what is it that you want from this situation? We become open to the other person. So this is one of those multiple perspectives. Last video I talked about really reality testing in our own perspective. And now we're talking about stepping into the other person's perspective. There could be more than one person in this situation. And so stepping into their perspectives is a key skill. So if there's 2 people stepping into one person's shoes in your mind and then being able to check where they're coming from and then step into the other person's shoes and see what's going on. In the case of family arguments, this is key, this is crucial. If two people are arguing in front of a child, I mean that's just terrible situation to be in. So being able to check, okay, so what does this other person want? But what is going on for this child right now? And be able to check in on that, because that is a real crucial skill. It's the same in any situation. If you're in a sales situation, stepping into the shoes of the customer. If you're in a negotiations situation, stepping into the shoes of the other person to see what do they want, what are their positive intentions that they want from that situation. So that is the second perceptual position. So we step into that perspective. So this gives us even more information. So practice in your mind. Imagine what it's like to be another person as you're talking to them. Ask yourselves the questions. So what do they want from this situation? What's their positive intention? And are they doing that in a really useful way? Because if they're not, we can start to ask the questions that's going to help to clarify for them what exactly they want from the situation. Now, if the person's not going to listen well, there's only so much that we can do about that. But that is something that I'll talk about in the next video when I talk about a different position on top of this again, to gain even more information. So I hope you found this useful. If you're not already on the e-list, put your name and your email address in the box up here on the right, and I'll come and visit you with my next video straight to your inbox. This is key skills in dealing with people, and we live in a society where we're constantly dealing with people. Troubles do come up, and situations come up where we need to influence the other person, and we need to influence the situation for the best. And in doing this, in gaining a sense of wisdom and understanding what the other person is thinking, we can then empower them, we empower ourselves, and when we're all empowered, yeah, you guessed it, we're going to make the world a much better place to live.